grab your favorite beverage. It's time for Porch Therapy with Edward Dino and Keith Villery. Okay, Edward, we are a go for our 10th podcast. Can you imagine?
I can't believe it. We didn't think it was going to be this successful. And I do want to give a shout out to our viewers in France.
After the first one, we were like number 11 in France.
Yeah.
But you had to buy the service to keep continuing to get the record.
Yeah, and I guess we just, until we speak French, I think maybe we ought to leave that alone.
Yeah, I have a couple of friends who are in France, and they haven't heard about it yet. But I'll send it to them. So, every week the drumbeat of insanity is on. And I don't know what you want to talk about first. I mean, there's just so much to talk about.
I don't know where to begin. Like the old thing
Exactly.
is, it's like a mosquito in the nudist colony. I don't know where to begin. And I guess a good place to start, because I think it's very interesting. I just saw today that the U.S. Chamber of Commerce has filed suit against Trump.
Oh my goodness, for what?
Over the $100,000 immigration fee. He put this $100,000 immigration fee on.
I did see something about that.
And so the United States Chamber of Commerce has filed a suit against Trump. I didn't see what the suit alleges, but I mean, now when you get the Chamber of Commerce suing a Republican president,
yeah,
things aren't going exactly according to plan. So I guess that's as good a place as any to start off.
Let me look and see. I took some notes because on the computer, and I look at a lot of different things. I'm going to look and see if I had any notes on tariffs this week, because tariffs have kind of taken a back seat to some of the insanity.
Since Tuesday. Remember, I mean, he was going to put 110% tariff on China, and then I guess for some, I'm sure he's not doing any insider trading. I mean, I just don't believe
his son just did.
I just don't believe
his son just did.
No, I can't.
Barron, I don't know what the numbers were. Barron put like $20 million into one of his coins. Turned around, got $190 million.
Yeah, well, that's luck. I don't think it had anything to do with his father having the stock market drop several hundred points, and then because of a comment he made on Friday, then going back and backing away from it, which brought it back up. That could be, if we had less of a president with integrity. If we had a president with less integrity than Donald Trump, you could maybe think there was some insider trading going on.
I don't think we could have one with less integrity.
Yeah.
But I heard somewhere that because it's not publicly traded on the stock market, it's not considered insider trading.
Maybe the Bitcoin isn't, but
the Bitcoin.
I mean, a president with less integrity than Donald Trump could do it easily by making comments on Friday and taking them back on Monday.
It could.
And of course.
And tell all of his buddies, and they all get, Well, one of the things I did want to talk about was the fact that.
Let me just say one more thing about that. Republican Senator Josh Hawley had a bill that would prohibit insider trading, and Trump got mad at him, and he had to exempt the president from the bill. And so that's kind of a red flag, I think.
Well, is that an official act? I don't know. Probably, but in that same vein of. I think one of the big things that's coming on right now is the Voting Act. And I think you as an attorney probably have a better understanding of the details of the Voting Act. And what I'm learning and what I understand is that the Supreme Court is going to take it up. And they're saying that race is no longer something that they can use to develop the districts, because, and I had some things in here. They said that Kavanaugh is going to be the key vote. They're hearing it right now in oral arguments, and that they said that race-based remedies are permissible for a period of time.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, well, it's been going on since the 60s. Maybe that period of time is over.
Mm-hmm.
They should not be indefinite and should have an endpoint, according to Kavanaugh.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not sure if the endpoint is now. Louisiana wants a broad ruling that the Constitution bars states from ever considering race when fixing a violation of the Voting Rights Act. And so, if you remember, the Supreme Court said something about it and said, wait a minute, we're not going to have a full review of it. We'll take oral arguments. And so that's what they're in right now. The debate over race in recent years, whether the Constitution is colorblind or whether policies may try to make up for past racism. Mm-hmm. Certainly there was past racism. Mm-hmm. I mean, and in recent years, a 6-3 conservative Supreme Court has come down hard on the side of colorblindness. And Louisiana, in its arguments, drew a line directly to the Supreme Court's landmark ruling in 2023, gutting affirmative action. Mm-hmm. So they've already got affirmative action from a race standpoint. They're looking at taking it out. And the what's going to happen if they take race completely out of the Voting Rights Act, they still can do it for political purposes. Mm-hmm. They can mm-hmm. gerrymander for. Mm-hmm. They say that every red state is going to go in there and take every black district out, which could be significant for Democrats.
Mm-hmm. They're estimating 19 districts could be affected in the South. I don't. When Sandra Day O'Connor wrote an opinion about 20 years ago, where she upheld race mm-hmm. as a criterion in drawing districts to remedy past infractions of people's freedoms. But in that opinion, she said 20 years ago, at some point this has got to end.
I think that's what's happening now.
And I think that, and I don't think it precludes other things that could be done. And I really feel like there should be some more imaginative things that could be done than discrimination and reverse discrimination and all of that. But I do think that, as the point you just raised, you can still do it for political purposes. You can still
do it for political purposes. Is totally legal.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. That's not, as long as the districts are within 5-10%
of each other.
Of
each
other.
The numbers are the same.
Yeah, that's the criterion, and that's historically been the
so,
criterion.
I'm hoping that there's enough people that can come out and some of these Republican districts, because they're not going to be completely 100% Republican. They're going to have some black, some Democrats, and a lot of independents, mm-hmm. Which could certainly be the things that changes these elections. The independents are the ones that are putting Trump underwater in all these things. Because we know the Democrats and the Republicans are
right
one-sided.
And we touched on this in our last podcast, is the only demographic group that Trump is increasing in is African Americans. And it's astounding when you have this type of thing going on. I don't understand it. And another thing I don't understand is if you take black districts, if you reduce black districts, which means you're going to be spreading out black voters, which means you could be making, as they say, watch what you ask for. You could be having more competitive districts by doing that.
Yeah, and I'm hoping it backfires.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see more competitive districts. Actually, I think we'd be better off having more competitive districts than having 10% all black and 90% all white, which I think leads to the the isolationism and the complete conflict between,
Yeah. Well, it's a big issue. It's in the courts right now.
I think it was yesterday it was heard.
It was heard. Oral arguments, yeah. But it's kind of, there's a lot of fear in what's going to happen and what ultimately is.
I would expect that they're gonna, they've already taken out, and I'm sure you remember this as mayor. Whenever you changed anything, if you changed a precinct, you had to go get Justice Department.
At one time in Louisiana.
Well, in the southern states.
Yeah, southern states.
And they took that out.
Well, if you look at the history of blacks in the United States and what happened with lenders, back in the 40s and the 30s, where they redlined areas.
Oh, much later than that.
You can't, well, even probably into the 60s and maybe even
in the
70s.
2000s.
Is that?
Yeah.
There you go. But redlining to where it's like, well, we can't loan money to a black family in this neighborhood. And it's pretty well accepted. And so, that was a lot of discrimination for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And the Voting Rights Act has been in since, 1965?
Something like that.
So 60 years. But they've been discriminating against blacks since the end of since before the end of the Civil War.
Well, I would hope that we would have more innovative ways rather than to have, ways to help black people register to vote, ways to get them to the polls, ways to do that, rather than to rely on reverse discrimination forever. Even though I do think that I'd like to start on an alternative way before we give up. What we're doing.
Throw it all out.
Yeah.
So that's coming up, and there's going to be a lot of Supreme Court. It's just amazing that because of what we have in Washington, everything makes it to the Supreme Court. Everything's going to the Supreme Court. It just.
When I always thought that the Voters' Rights Act discriminated against the South because I had the same problems as you did, the same challenges as you as mayor, and I was city attorney for Mandeville and Abita, and we'd have to, whatever we did, we'd have to go get justice.
But at least then it was every 10 years. Now it could be anything.
Well, anything. You'd have to, if you were changing anything, if you were changing districts.
Yeah.
If you were, and I thought, why does that just happen? That discriminates against the South. And I remember my first couple of years in the legislature, and I walked around and I could hear legislators talking, and I thought, well, maybe we do need this.
You mentioned a little bit about corruption, and I think that we can't leave this podcast without talking about Argentina.
Don't cry for me, Argentina.
Don't cry for me, Argentina. The fact that he told everybody it was 20 billion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh no, it's going to be 40 billion.
Oh, really?
So the fact that we're shut down, people are not getting paid, but we're bailing out the Argentine peso so that one guy in Trump's administration can help his oligarch friend who invested in those pesos and is seeing it. And then I heard that, China gave him $18 billion 15 years ago and they hadn't been paid back. So the fact that we're paying back these guys, and they're doing a similar thing that Trump's doing, they're cutting budgets, but still their inflation rate's like 27%. Yeah. So we're bailing out Argentina. And of course, Venezuela, we don't like them.
No, but the guy from Argentina showed up. He handed Musk the chainsaw. He was the guy that showed up, and one of the things, you're absolutely right. But Trump, in giving this money, made it clear that if his buddy, the right-wing guy in Argentina, loses, the money's coming back. They're using our taxpayer money.
Yeah.
To promote politically a right-wing authoritarian in Argentina,
right,
whose election is next year.
Yeah. Oh, no, he's trying to get him elected, keep him in office.
Yeah, I mean,
The notes I made were several major investment funds, including BlackRock, Fidelity, and PIMCO, stand to significantly gain from the aid transfer, as do several independent investors with ties to Besant.
yeah, that's right. They all bought up Argentine debt cheap. And if they pump up the Argentine economy, they'll get paid back in full value. I mean, it's just the whole thing smells to high heaven.
It does.
I mean, it's just amazing. But thank God we're rooting out corruption with Comey.
Corruption here, but corruption there.
And Letitia James, we're really getting at the real corruption, I think.
So moving right along, we have the No Kings protest coming up Saturday.
Yeah.
They say it's going to be double what the other one was. And of course, it's all hate stuff. It's like anti-fascist. Now, I don't know anybody that is pro-fascist except for the cabinet and Trump and, some of his underlings. But the most part,
the Kansas Young Republicans.
Oh, whoa! Wasn't that something?
Sure. Well, yeah. I don't know. I'm glad that they're going after these universities for anti-Semitism.
Yeah. Well, these kids are already out of universities. They were not kids. They were in their 30s. They were, one of them might have been a little over 40. But it was interesting that J.D. Vance said, "Oh man, it's just locker room talk." Well, we've heard that phrase before.
Well, yeah.
But he said, he doesn't see why full-grown Republican men should have to apologize for being racist Hitler lovers. He doesn't see no reason. I don't know.
Yeah, someone ought to clue him in. So someone should clue him in why the Republican Party. It wasn't just in Kansas; it was in other states. That had this kind of undercurrent culture of pro-Nazi sentiment.
One of them was an aide to one of our representatives.
A senator in Vermont.
Was it a senator in Vermont?
Yeah, I mean, it's just astounding how that somehow the vice president of the United States is defending that. I mean, that's on its way to being mainstream, at least in the Republican Party.
Well, this guy, Alex Perrine, wrote that with regard, after the Charlottesville rally, he said racial resentment has been a driving force behind college Republican recruitment for years. Mm-hmm. But at this point, it's really all they have left to offer. I mean, it's just, and they're talking about the No Kings rally as a hate rally, while, and we don't even need to go to Charlie Kirk, because, somebody who's quoting Charlie Kirk, quoting him, is getting fired for using his words. I mean,
I don't get that.
Yeah, it's really.
I mean, Charlie Kirk was a mess. I mean,
he was.
He's taking the Fifth Amendment on the January 9th.
Yeah, and there's a site out there that has all of his quotes, and his quotes are not something that you would think you'd be honoring.
You don't think you should get the Presidential Medal of Freedom?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, that's astounding.
Well,
but he's up there with Rush Limbaugh.
When Rush got it, the bar was lowered.
Boy, was it
considerably?
Boy, was it?
Anyway, they said things like, "I love Hitler." They spoke approvingly of rape and slavery and homophobic slurs. So, just really good. I think they were actually
Americans,
good Republicans.
Yeah, good. Yeah, they're good standing with the Republican Party. And when you think about the old Republican Party, well, hell, the Civil Rights bill in the '60s were passed by Republicans. Yeah. It was Southern Democrats that fought it. Yeah. The Republican Party has a rich history in civil rights.
Yeah,
and particularly those New England Republicans, must just be shaking their heads with the fact that that party has been hijacked and is now the party of racism and what's his name? Kirk.
It's the party of David Duke.
Yeah, it is the party.
And Steve Scalise.
Yeah.
We're going to take a break and read our notes. And now we're back, Edward. A couple of things that kind of came across my radar. One was that the fact that this young woman was elected in Arizona by like almost 70% of the vote. And it's been 23, 24 days since her election. And Mike Johnson refuses to swear her in. That seems illegal to me.
Well, it's part of the Epstein shutdown.
That is exactly it.
Our government is clearly the Epstein shutdown of the House.
Yeah. It's just amazing. There must be so much in that Epstein stuff that they just really don't want anybody to know.
The irony is that 78, as somebody said yesterday, all the polls are 45-55 on every issue, 45-55.
Not with Epstein.
Epstein is bringing this country together. It's 78% believe that there's something hiding in there.
There's no doubt about it.
And Jeffrey Epstein, as you heard first here on Porch Podcast, I predict he's going to be Time Magazine's Man of the Year.
Can't wait.
Yeah.
But just the fact that he will not allow this woman to be sworn in. I don't know why he has to swear him in. When I won mayor, anybody who had a law degree could swear me in.
Yeah, any notary can swear you in.
There must be some sort of rule.
There's some rule of saying maybe the clerk of the house or somebody has to swear.
And he's made up everything. It's like, well, no. I saw something the other day with the last person that was sworn in like 3 days after he was elected. She's gone 23 days, and
his comments yesterday were so offensive. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where he said, "Oh, bless her heart,
yeah, right.
She just doesn't know how things work around here."
Yeah, right.
She knows how things work around, and
everybody's familiar. We're all
beginning to learn how things work around there.
Yeah.
But as you said about a lawsuit, to me it seems like an open shut mandamus suit where the court orders you to perform your duty, and I think that's where this is headed.
And the other thing that Mike did this week, there was evidently a representative, Corey Mills, was accused of beating his girlfriend, and he had threatened to blackmail her using sexually explicit images of her and to commit violence against her future romantic partners. And Mike called him a faithful colleague before pleading ignorance of the allegation.
Well,
he's a freaking Speaker of the House, and he doesn't know what's going on.
Ignorance is, I think, an effective plea for him.
I think you're probably right. But he says there's a restraining order evidently against Corey Mills, and hey, no big deal. No big deal.
Well, ask J.D. Vance. I bet he'd agree that it's no big deal. A little,
clutching the pearls.
Boys will be boys, huh?
Yeah. I want to just touch on some polls. The New Guardian Harris poll found that 75% of Americans say their household costs have risen by at least $100 a month, despite Trump's claims that inflation is over.
Forbes analysis was that 55% of the tariffs were being paid by American households.
No doubt about it.
And, tariffs are sales tax, the most regressive tax you can have.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on, and administered by somebody who I don't like, you're not treating your former president right, so I'm going to put a tariff on you. Anyway, that can't keep going on.
Most blame tariffs and government policies for continued price hikes. Mm-hmm. Over half of the respondents believe the economy is in recession. Confidence in both parties has dropped
Yeah.
Understandably. Democratic economic proposals such as banning food price gouging and expanding the child tax credit remain more popular than Trump's agenda of tax cuts, tariffs, and mass deportations.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that's what's happening. We're going to see what happens with the vote, but we have to wait until 2026, except in Virginia,
New Jersey,
and New Jersey.
And the Democrats haven't lost a special election yet.
No, and it looks like those two governors' elections are going to go Democrat, and they look like they're very good candidates.
Mm-hmm.
But just the idea that you have all the 75% say household costs have risen, but Trump still he's only underwater by 6, 8, 10.
It's cultural. 12%. It's cultural.
It's all cultural.
It's all cultural.
They're going to vote Republican. They're going to vote the R, no matter who it is.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cultural. Like we mentioned before, you and I don't vote our economic interests. I mean,
we'd be voting for tax credits. Yeah. Anyway, this page is finished.
Well, one thing I wanted to just mention is that I think it was the Wall Street Journal reported today that they have Trump ordering the IRS to go after
Democratic
organizations and donors.
Yeah,
I mean, this is a throwback to Nixon and his enemies list.
I mean,
and he did the exact same thing with the IRS,
all the way back to McCarthy. I mean, it's like, this is some crazy stuff. Talking about switching gears to those people that have been all those cities, Chicago,
mm-hmm.
Portland. Mm-hmm. I see these videos of Portland where all of these blow up animals are dancing in the street, and Trump's talking about how
dangerous.
It's horrible, and dangerous, and the streets are burning.
That is so clever.
And
that is so clever.
It's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But they're going to start dropping people in out of Black Hawk helicopters in Portland soon.
Well, I think they've been enjoying from doing that. I think the courts have enjoyed that.
Well, let's look at that. There is where is that? For now, appeals courts have halted Trump's attempted deployment in Portland and Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Judicial panels for the 9th and 7th Circuit Court of Appeals last week partially stayed lower court rulings by letting Trump federalize members of the Oregon and Illinois National Guard, but barring him from deploying troops in either states.
Mm-hmm.
The fine points of all these things are just
mm-hmm.
legalese. In response to court orders against Guard deployments, the Department of Homeland Security intensified its aggressive immigration operations in Chicago and its crackdowns on protests outside of an immigration and customs enforcement facility in Portland. So all these characters, if you saw the frog online that got sprayed with the pepper spray back in his little opening in the back, and he said, "Oh, I'm Mexican. That was just a little bit of spice." It's just amazing what's happening. I mean, it's depressing. It's truly depressing.
It is.
Of how they're treating people. And I have some more stuff in here about some interesting facts about...
and amazing, he has lost the high polling ground on immigration, which is astounding.
Yeah, he has.
I mean, he was in the 60s, now he's in the low 40s. I mean, nobody likes to see other people treated this way.
Nobody. I mean, and Federal agents tear gas Chicago police, violating a court's order. Judge Sarah Ellis on October 9th, after journalists and community organizers brought the issue forward, Ellis explicitly banned agents from using riot-controlled weapons, firing tear gas canisters, or body slamming an individual, striking any person with a vehicle, and more abuses of power. The order applies to all agents from the Homeland Security, including ICE, Border Patrol, and was supposed to last until October 23rd. Of course, the federal agents violated it almost immediately, and there's no consequences. You know, if the court says you're violating and you're in contempt of court, what are they going to do?
Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I mean, I think that hasn't played out in the big picture yet. And when it got down to it, Trump's at some point backs down. I mean,
Taco.
Yeah. Taco well, of course, Taco's like stock manipulation for inside trading.
Well, that's all he cares
about. And everybody's playing it now. I mean, everybody understands that when he says something high about trading, get ready to buy.
He's placating 2025. You go.
Oh, he didn't know anything about them. Remember?
Yeah, but you go do your thing. I'm going to just make some money,
and
he's making some money. And Barron just made. He traded some Bitcoin and made, I don't know how much money, but look it up. I just also wanted to chime in on Pope Leo.
Yeah, we talked about Pope Leo last week.
Pope Leo declares whose side he's on, and it's not J.D. Vance. Leo's first apostolic exhortation focuses on loving the poor. Conservative American Catholics are sure to lose their minds over it.
Well, he hates America if he likes the poor. I mean,
I have cousins who were so happy to see the last pope get out of there, and this pope, I'm sure they're really mad at. Well, Pope he's from New Orleans.
Yeah,
he speaks English.
Yeah. Well, one of the things I think, and this is just what my bunions tell me, is that maybe sending troops into Chicago didn't play well with Pope Leo.
I don't think it did.
And of course, Pope Leo, besides what you read the week before, talked about you can't be pro-life and treat immigrants the way the United States is treating them.
Yeah. Immigrants or, kids in school that are going hungry.
One time I went to hear Jimmy Carter speak at Mary Anthem Baptist Church and do a Sunday's Bible study with him twice. And the last time I went, and gosh, this guy was so comfortable. He was like an old shoe. I mean, and we couldn't get in because it was so packed the second time. Kathy and I got in. Kathy and I was the second time. And he came and he sat down just as close as you and me, and his talk was about the Bible's praising hospitality. Yeah. And throughout the Bible, it talks about hospitality. And he equated that to immigration and how the Bible
not very hospitable.
Yeah. So,
well, the other thing was, and I have it on here somewhere, was the amount of people that are, from when they were coming off the Black Hawk helicopters in Chicago, and how many people did they actually get that were, I have all these notes, but they didn't get a lot of
criminals.
No. And there were a lot of citizens in that apartment complex that had to deal with, being woken up in the middle of the night, zip tied, kids brought out to the street, people naked. That's not an America that I remember growing up. And if you want to make it great again, is that what we're doing? Is that making America great? I don't think so.
It's a weird notion of what it was like when America was great, according to the MAGA.
Yeah.
mindset. I mean, I just, I guess they lynched people when America was great. I mean, I don't understand it. I don't understand it.
I don't either. I really don't. I don't get the people that are. I just don't. I don't get it.
Just talking about what you're saying leads just briefly into something else. I think I was talking to somebody who was dealing with a Hispanic person that was dealing with nonprofits, and said, like, really, how many people are you talking about that are being arrested? I mean, is it? And she said, it's thousands.
Thousands.
It's thousands.
There are
And
thousands.
they filled up Alcatraz real fast, and they've got $30 billion in the big beautiful bill for housing of prisoners. But it leads you to the whole thing, and this is going to be interesting how this plays out, of these attacks on Venezuelan boats.
Yeah,
with no cause,
evidence.
no evidence at all that they're doing anything wrong.
They see a boat out there, and they're
and today
and killing them,
and they're killing him. And today,
and he wanted the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah, that's going to be troubling for him, I think.
Whew.
But the head of the Southern Command today resigned.
Well, because
of what's going on with those ships, and it's disrupting everything in the Caribbean.
Yeah.
I mean, fishermen in Trinidad don't want to go fish.
Yeah.
I mean, tour boats, whatever.
They don't know who's on that boat.
If Trump gets a notion that there's someone from a cartel on a tour ship, bam.
It might have been an immigrant.
And he made the statement that they figure that every boat they destroy saves 25,000 American lives.
That was Pam Bondi's number.
Well, he repeated it. I mean, I'd love to see the calculations on that. I mean, that is
he makes
without
so much off.
knowing what's on those. He doesn't know what's on those boats.
No, he doesn't know anything about it. And the people just know it's a boat and it has 11 people on it. Let's kill them. DHS quietly edits the number of gang members captured in the Chicago raid. How many members of the Venezuelan gang did they catch in the controversial September raid? DHS says that of the 37 individuals arrested that night, agents got a hold of just one verified Tren de Agua member.
Yeah, but verified by who?
I mean, they're saying it was only one.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, they couldn't say zero, right? I mean,
but they got 37 individuals, and how many of them are citizens?
Oh, it's so sad.
And I'm sure everyone has seen the video of the priest that was hit in the head with pepper spray, and of course he's going to sue somebody. But I'm waiting for the lawsuits to start piling up, because everybody's being treated.
You're going to have some lawsuits coming out of Alcatraz. I can promise you.
Every day
mm-hmm.
they're manhandling people that are citizens, and the only reason they're manhandling them is because they look a little brown and they speak Spanish.
The Supreme Court, as you mentioned earlier, talks about being colorblind and not using race for anything. But it just allowed ICE to racially profile people that it arrests.
I know.
I mean, it's just an astounding amount of hypocrisy.
It's really hard to understand. There was a woman arrested for playing Ghostbusters on the clarinet at the ICE protest. Why are they targeting a clarinet player?
I feel safer.
Clarinet player standing on the sidewalk far away from the street, who was also following instructions. I mean, it's because these guys are not vetted. They're thugs. They're probably Proud Boys. They're people who evidently didn't have a job because they're going to work for ICE. ICE agent threatens to shoot an ambulance driver who was helping a protester. Federal agents swarmed an ambulance crew to prevent them from taking an injured protester to the hospital, allegedly interfered with and even threatened to shoot and arrest emergency personnel rescuing an injured protester last week in Southport. I mean, it's just one after another after another. And Ice Barbie, if you've noticed, at every one of these detentions, they're on the street, they have a guy videotaping. He's plain clothes, and he's videotaping, and then they're compiling the videotapes, and they're pushing that out, probably a violation of the Hatch Act, but they're pushing these out as, look at the wonderful job we're doing. The Department of Homeland Security has run the most extensive, expensive campaign in 2025. The agency so far has spent at least $51 million in 2025 on a sprawling ad campaign warning undocumented immigrants to either exit the country or be hunted down.
No.
Fox News brought the bulk of the ad spots, airing $9 million worth. Of course, Fox News, they probably need the money. But I saw that it was on, another thing, on Spotify and a lot of the other online music. They have ads for become an ICE agent. And, you don't need any qualifications. I wonder if they want a 72-year-old guy to go in there. I would never be an ICE agent. Let's take another break. It's about time. Edward, we're back. We went through a lot of information today. I hope that our listeners and our viewers can keep up.
And I hope our French viewers can understand what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think we have some closed captions. I'm wondering if we can close caption it in French.
Let's look into that.
I got a couple of things left. We talked about the people in the boats that Trump is shooting and killing.
Astounding.
So far, he's killed 27 people. Now, he wanted a Nobel Peace Prize, but he's bombing people he doesn't even know.
This is going to be tough, particularly, and I'm going to repeat this, the commander of the Southern Command resigned today.
Yeah.
He resigned today over the actions that our government and our country are taking in the Caribbean.
Well, that's one of the problems that's coming up, because if he does the Insurrection Act and he controls the military, and the military, all these really good, honorable soldiers are leaving because he can't take what's happening. You've got these other people that are bubbling up that are his cult.
It keeps coming to mind is the whole Nuremberg thing.
Ooh.
Where following orders is not a defense.
No, that's for sure. He is. If it's an official act, the Supreme Court has made him.
But the military people
are not.
Following orders is not a defense to commission of a crime.
And I am afraid that that people are going to start resisting what's happening. It's interesting to me that that most of the people that are picked up are brown people. They're not black people, and the blacks seem to be a little absent. The people at these protests are old white hippies. They said it was. And they're peacefully protesting, but if you get a little close, they're whacking you, they're throwing you on the ground, and manhandling.
I've seen a lot of young people at these.
Oh, there's a lot of young people
at these rallies.
No, I think there's a lot of young people, but anyway, I just think it's unfortunate that what's happening. Saturday, I'm actually going to be traveling to New York, but I'm getting there at a time when I think the No Kings rally is going to, by the time I get there, it'll be over.
Yeah.
Which unfortunately I'd like to be a part of. I don't want to get arrested, but I certainly want to participate.
Yeah.
Because I really do believe that what we're going to see Saturday, worldwide, people are going to, maybe the world will take a little notice.
Well, you and I spoke at the one in Covington.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be one not in Covington. It's going to be in Hammond, which I plan on going to. to that. And I agree with you. I think it's probably better organized. I think the heavy turnout for the first one is going to have a impact and influence a heavier turnout.
Yeah, I think they've had a little time to organize.
Yeah. So, I think that's all good.
Oh,
I think that's I think that's.
They said this guy has a mandate. What did he win by? 1.4%?
I think it was less than 1%. Somebody said 5 million votes, but it was not 5 million votes. It was like maybe a million.
Well, it might have been 2, but
maybe
still,
2. But
it was not a mandate.
No, oh no.
It was a mandate in the southern states, and he did win all of the swing states.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really unfortunate.
Yeah,
and I am a little afraid of what is going to happen in the 2026 election.
Well, we'll see. I think you're gonna. I think there's going to be a big surprise.
I think that there's going to be enough turnout that it's going to be overwhelming, and there's no way that.
I think Trump knows it, or he wouldn't be trying to gerrymander at the last minute, and he wouldn't be trying to outlaw mail-in ballots. Yeah. That's not going to happen.
Well, it was interesting that he was meeting with Putin, and after he met with him, he said, "I got an idea."
Yeah,
Putin told me, get rid of those mail-in ballots.
Yeah, I think he's right behind Putin for the Nobel Peace Prize.
I think he should be, or Netanyahu.
Yeah, good grief.
You see those pictures of Gaza, and they're just outrageous. The destruction. And I saw a thing with him today about how he still wants to take Gaza. He wants to make it into a Trump Riviera.
Yeah.
And it's like, where are you going to move those people? Oh, we're going to move them to a nice house.
Yeah,
they're going to have insurance. But where?
Yeah.
It's their homeland.
Yeah.
They lived there before the Jews.
Yeah.
With the Jews.
It's
actually, I've looked at some of that. When, historically, I guess even before the Ottoman Empire, the Jews, the Palestinians, the Arabs, everybody lived together until they started dividing them up, and that's when they got into problems. And, Israel, we support Israel, and Israel has abortion, they have free education, and they have free health care. And we give them a lot of money so that they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that.
Same with Argentina.
Same with Argentina.
We're funding that. We will fund that for Argentines, but not for Americans.
Not for Americans.
One of the things I wanted to mention, just as an aside, and this might be, and this is my gift to Donald Trump today. We know he's doing, or suspect, or some people, as he likes to do, some people say he's manipulating the market for his own good.
Some people have said that.
With the taco thing. But he doesn't need to do that, because right now in Vegas, the odds have gone up from 1 to 10 to 1 to 5 that he's going to pardon Ghislaine Maxwell.
Whoa.
And I think he should put a big bet on that just before he does
or not do.
Or not do. And I think
he can make it happen.
That's my gift to him and his whole family at this tonight. And I say, maybe get out of manipulating the stock market and do Vegas, baby.
Do Vegas, baby. He's got, WWE.
Yeah.
He can start betting on. Hulk Hogan's gone, but
I just think that maybe it'd be much more harmless, I think. And he could just go ahead and decide, kind of put the money on it and then act on it.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, I think he should do it. And that's my gift to the first family.
Oh, God. We could bet one way or the other, huh?
Yeah. The other thing I wanted to talk about.
They have a line on Maxwell.
Yeah. It's gone from 1 to 10 to 1 to 5. The odds are getting greater that he's got a partner.
No, I think he's considering it if he knows who she is.
He said he's considering it.
Well, he didn't even know who she is.
Well, that's true. That's true. And he wishes her well. So I think maybe he and his family should consider betting on the pardon of Ghislaine Maxwell, and it'd be a lot more harmless. It wouldn't be as controversial. Nobody would know about it. and he could make some bucks.
He could make some bucks. He knows how to make bucks now.
And
you know, I mean, I really see this whole.
And I think he has every right to ask Mr. Holman to pony up for him on these bettings. Mr. Holman is the czar who took $50,000 in cash.
He's got $50,000 in his pocket.
He could triple that betting on the Ghislaine Maxwell pardon.
Well, did you see when the Senate was asking Pam Blondie about that, and they kept asking her. It was like, what did he do with the money?
Yeah, where's the money?
Did he file tax return on that money?
Yeah.
You know, where is the money? You know, and she never did say no.
No,
she never did say he didn't get the money.
No, as did J.D. Vance didn't say that in the interview with Stephanopoulos this weekend. He wouldn't say that, and it got down to he didn't know where the money went or whether he took money or not. Holman has not denied taking the money.
No,
all he says is he didn't do anything illegal.
All he says is he didn't do anything illegal, and the FBI, of course, was waiting to see what he was going to do, and of course now the FBI is
right. Well, they have to take the agents off of that so that they can go against Letitia James and James Comey
and Bolton.
Yeah, I mean,
who's next?
I think if you can't go against someone that lies like James Comey, President Trump will not. He does not suffer lying very well. I've heard a lot of people say that he lies. You know, there are a lot of people that say that he lies.
Yeah.
But I think
he 30,000 in the first term.
But I think he's proven that he will not take that by prosecuting James Comey for lying.
Yeah.
You said I don't think he gets credit
for that. And then
Pam
Blondie was there talking about, and they asked her, and she said no, and it's like they came right back and said, well, she just lied.
Poor Pam Blondie. I mean,
she's the one that's first to go, I think.
Well, she's supposedly the least liked, which I think saying a lot. That's a pretty low bar. She's no Kash Patel. And
that guy, when they asked him, what was it that they asked him? Oh God, it was about the J6 people who did the song, and he said he didn't know anything about it. I don't know anything about it. And then they played his tape of him saying, well, it was a bunch of guys and we produced this and we did and we did this.
Well, Trump didn't know anything about 2025 either.
I mean, know anything about it.
No.
I mean,
the thing is, and I think in fairness to Pam Blondie, I know poor thing, she's the most disliked of the cabinet members, but she's second string to Matt Gaetz. I mean, Matt Gaetz was the man we wanted, right?
I know, he was our first choice.
Until, he got that little...
I think one of these podcasts, we need to just go in and maybe look at Fox, and we could do a podcast as the other side. We could take all of the Republican talking points, and, I mean, yeah. We might do that for half a podcast.
Whoa.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Well,
how much can you lie? All of this that we did tonight,
I don't know. Okay.
It's based on fact. It's not fiction.
I think that it's astounding to me. The whole psychology of the whole thing is astounding to me. It's a true embarrassment that our president, everybody's on to our president. All the foreign leaders are on to our president. Everyone in Congress is on to. Everybody in the world, but 40% of the American people are on to Trump. And he's kind of a pitiful, emotional cripple. I mean, he's the most powerful man in the world and can't get enough adulation, can't get enough. Everyone knows you have to flatter him. Everyone knows you can't criticize him in any way. Mm-hmm. It's truly, it's pitiful.
I'm going to tell you a little story. I think I mentioned it last week, but I got a call from Steve Scalise. He was doing a town hall on the telephone, and it's totally ridiculous. And if you hang on the phone and they say, well, if you'd like to ask Congressman Scalise a question, push 3. So I pushed 3. Now, this happened to me a few months ago, and I pushed 3, and I said, I want to ask him blah, 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 blah. And it was a real question, and they never called me back. I never got the opportunity to ask him a question. So this time I said, they said, "Boy, you want to ask Congressman Scalise a question?" And I said, "I want to tell him what a wonderful job he's doing, how great he's doing for Louisiana and for the United States." They said, "Thank you." And I listened to about 5 more minutes of the town hall meeting. I couldn't take it anymore. The people that were asking him questions, it wasn't a question. It was like, how many pull-ups can you do? It's a ridiculous stuff. And so I hung up. So a couple of days later, I get a call from 202 Washington telephone. We just wanted to tell you how happy we are that you support Congressman Scalise.
Yeah.
I wish you would tune into our podcast.
Let me tell you this story about that. So Kathy, my sister, went up to D.C. on a franchise conference. She has a franchise, a business that's franchised out. And so the franchise organization got the congressman from every district to bring up their constituent that had franchises. So Kathy was the only one that was from Scalise's district. And all these lobbyists were trying to get to see him, but they never could. So they followed Kathy in to the meeting. So anyway, Kathy sat there and never got to say a word. The lobbyists all talked. He just kind of didn't say, he did his thing, by saying a lot of nothing.
Oh, it's a lot of
And then he captions this meeting about Kathy coming up there as a local businessman, a businesswoman, to thank him for everything he's done for small business.
Right.
I mean,
he's saying it.
Yeah, he's saying
She's
it.
not.
Oh no. No. I mean, it's really he's really, he may be the worst.
Yeah.
I mean, he didn't realize he spoke to Ku Klux Klan members. Remember that?
He's from David Duke's district.
Yeah, he's from David Duke's district.
But you said the other. Well, what was your terminology about how it's not projection?
Oh, accusation is an admission.
Accusation is an admission.
It truly is. Trump, where he's going after Comey for lying. Give me a break, right? He's going after Bolton for not storing.
Jack Smith.
He's going after Bolton for not storing certified documents correctly. They got all of that. He's going against the head of the gal that's on the board of the Fed, because she misstated her equity for loan. This guy's been found guilty for doing the same thing. It's just, that's what I'm saying. We really need to bring his cousin back, that psychologist.
Mary Trump.
Mary Trump, who will just kind of tell you what's going on between his ears.
It's interesting. They're going to do while the Super Bowl does theirs with Bad Bunny, who's actually from Puerto Rico, which is kind of American.
Kind of American.
He
went down there to throw him
he threw those. Yeah,
he threw the paper towels to him during the.
So they're going to do as a turning point, and so Lara Trump has offered to be on the program. Of course, they haven't asked her. And if you've ever seen her, she has a lot of. She's very brave.
She's very brave.
Not everybody can do what she does. Anyway, we are number 10 here. A Porch Podcast at gmail.com. Send us a line.
And I just want to make this observation before I forget, Keith. And Margaret, my wife, who's always been a redhead, has noticed that Trump is not dyeing his hair anymore.
I know.
Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
So I want to thank him for just that much of authenticity.
Did you see the picture that Time has on there? He's got his neck is all folded in, and he doesn't. You can't see any hair. And so he puts a Truth Social about how he didn't like that photograph.
Well, he didn't like that one in Colorado. He made him take it out of that public building because he didn't like that. Now, how did he find out about that? I'm going to just tell you, everything he does, he doesn't. I don't know when he has the time to do all the stuff that he does.
He stays up late and sleeps.
I mean, he doesn't like the sugar and the Coke.
Well, Melania's in New York.
All right.
Okay, look. A Porch Podcast at gmail.com.
And keep those cards and letters coming in.
And if you want to see these podcasts, go to YouTube, A Porch Podcast. And we're also loading them up to Apple Podcasts. So we will see you whenever we'll see you, because I'm going to be in New York next week.
Okay, great.
All right, good night. That beautiful music is Zach Villery. Check him out on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get your music.